disco. I don't know what we're doing. Well, we're trying to get our gun and possibly some other thing. What was I supposed to? So it's the point of no return, so we have to make sure that we do everything. Find government marked heavy fuel oil. Determine where the shot came from. Union and cryptozoology business might end when you do. So we just have to pass the time until 2100, but I don't know what to do. We have like 2 hours. Anything to say, Manana?
Hola, wandering man. The mercenary, eh? That's so. He was an agent of I in the murder.
He believed. Understood.
No problem.
Right to work! Right! We were promised work. Main gate's locked. And I don't mean to scrawl. Yeah? Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're... Why don't you go?
It would be better.
No!
He seems to do not be fooled by the programming.
Oh yeah, we can go talk to the lady again. That was the thing.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. And oh, not many people outside. Bulky frame, heavy, hardy. Yes, built like a tractor, and used like one too in the Zhimsk countryside. Take note of the 8-antler.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue. The colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white. The colors of the Stars Ryko.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Jim's community protested the trial, flying the colors.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Hate to correct you, Kim, but only 4,395 people were at that.
Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Could it be another Stajrajko murder? Honestly, that just doesn't seem like the type of vehicle our dead guy would drive. So my initial guess is the two are not related. Yes, detective? You sure you're not Jimsk?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if
Hello, lady.
the woman is still
Huh? What is it? And what is that?
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that. Exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale Transport.
No offense. But your partner? Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Oh,
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk.
Neither is Pell transportation. Life is transitory.
mm.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything, even the things I never knew. The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot, in the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation, on the grand stairs of Riot.
Oh, the memory
The smoke from
poisoning.
the
Wow.
Fowling Piece,
That's
when
fucking
Dolores
crazy.
Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocence Dolores Day. Heroic doses, Harifia. Heroic. Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea. and
Man,
then
the
come
Pale
back
is
to
fucking
this,
nuts. I can't believe that, like, there's only one character who explains
what
to you
are
what
we
the Pale
doing
is.
here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor. Like looking into the ocean at night, in the dark. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined. Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking.
Hmm.
Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
In the belly of an airship, behind the cell windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it. No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
Yes,
No elaboration.
they say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pell, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south? It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not Pell drivers. Way beyond the established Pell that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
In the center of this town, there's a ghostly motorway, she sang.
They say I've been away on a kind of holiday. No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake.
Motorway south.
Josiane.
There is nothing more to do now. She is receding.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective. Let's get some air.
Make way for the master poet. It's like,
Going on strike would probably...
maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much in the hour.
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild. I've heard talk there's a they want to keep that.
He doesn't blame them.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
What's better, he tries his best to look...
What can we go do? Poker on the balcony. Inland Empire. Guide to well-behaved cockroach group. What's that? Oh, I never looked at the board game.
A cockatoo. This book talks about where to even begin. Pet owners, it is not recommended. You're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Yes. Despite its perhaps in the word, it must be glory. This is a yellow-tailed black.
Oh, you can still reading books.
In your hands, you hold the cover, the exact location. The box has a knife even before you open it. The plastic wrap rips. There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard. Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a The colorful illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marbles. You begin to suspect there may be a political agenda. The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many you soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your object, that's where the suzerain's vassals come in. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar label. Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will... Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old-school atrocities. Suzerainty is a family game. The only atrocities you'll be committing, the actual scoring system, you open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. Each cardboard token makes a satisfying
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
in addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player. From the Empire of...
Oh, those are nice.
You hold the open... The lieutenant looks over the rulebook.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
What? Does the lieutenant hate fun? Is he the fun police? The lieutenant gives you a sour look. He may or may not hate fun, but either way, he does not appreciate your attitude. What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Yes, of course.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study.
Oh
You each take
yeah,
your
board
bag of
game.
tokens and counters and
Let's
unfold the
go.
world between you. In the center is the crown of Revachon. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminole. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your... The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card
Oh, shit.
and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board.
Alright, detective.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or remember what the rulebook said? You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it. What is the very beginning of the game? Your workers haven't even done any work yet. That's more like it. You produce a handful of archaeological treasures and a smattering of other resources. Meanwhile, the lieutenant spends two of his sugar and
Oh
one
my
of
god.
his apricot tokens to complete his contract card. He is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points. Don't worry, it was mostly just luck. You'll earn some points soon enough.
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin. Come on, is that your game face? You're practically broadcasting your position to the lieutenant with that expression. Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. Those aren't your only options.
Oh.
You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them. After
Is that
all,
how the board
they're
game
the
works?
ones producing wealth for the suzerain. Well, sure, you can do that. It's just not a terribly effective strategy, but then it's up to you.
Let's do it,
To the
Lamau.
lieutenant's puzzlement, you spend several turns building various improvements to your territorial infrastructure. Soon, your workers have access to clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies. In return, they produce 1 extra resource per turn.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points. Take a look at the scoring tables in the back. You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachon gives you a multiplier of 5.
So you're saying the values of the ruling class are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who generate their wealth?
Yes, precisely.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre
Apricots,
territory.
oh my
How can
god.
you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard. For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers. You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together. You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholian suzerainty faced in Safre in the middle of the last century. Well, the suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing. By introducing cocaine into Safre under exclusive contract, the suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product.
What does this have to do with the game?
If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens.
Is that how that works?
Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules. You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Sorry, Kim, you're not gonna like this. Introduce the lieutenant's workers to cocaine. uh, it's fantastic. Oh man.
With each passing turn, you slowly bleed the lieutenant of coins as his own workers become less productive and more dependent on your magenta cocaine tokens. As a matter of historical fact, this is almost exactly what happened in Safre. To this day, fully half of the former Safre Empire remains dependent on international aid in exchange for...
More or less.
Realizing victory is slipping away, the lieutenant launches a desperate gambit. Protectionism. By erecting tariffs on your cocaine, he hopes to starve you out of the market at the risk of incurring the suzerain's disfavor. The end game is upon you. Do you escalate the trade war with the lieutenant in hopes of crushing him with your economic might? Or do you ignore his aggression and focus on building the mighty victory column structure in Revachol herself? Alternatively, you could throw the whole game away by trying to build a public education system
I'm
for the
gonna do
children
it.
of your workers. The choice is yours.
Alright, we'll finish this later.
Come on, detective. This is the end game. Let's just finish up quickly.
The
Okay.
end game is upon you. You could attempt. The choice is yours.
Let's build a public education system for your
There's
workers.
a reason very few players ever attempt to build a public education system for their worker tokens. It's extremely expensive and never pays off. By design, your boondoggle nearly bankrupts the suzerain's treasury, and you suffer
Nice.
a significant penalty to
Let's
your final
go.
score.
Ouch.
Taught me that the points are arbitrary. I decided to play the game how I wanted
The
instead.
lieutenant opens his mouth, as if to issue a blistering retort, then hesitates.
You know, detective, there's something admirable about that, in its own way. Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate after double, then -5 victory points.
Woo!
You'll be lucky if the suzerain doesn't have your whole family executed for such a pitiful performance.
I've got 20 points. Well, there's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again. Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
You hold the open game.
That's fun. Alright, let's go get my gun. I have to... Where's the old fish walk past? Oh, got more to do. There's something else that was cool. Yeah, we can just
A
read
cockatoo
books.
is a... This book, you're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Perhaps the most in the word. It must be. Despite its banging name. Despite its... You're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Where to even begin? Pet owners also... It is not recommended to get a cockatoo.
There we go. Alright. Let us be off. Do, 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 do. Oh
Put your
my
hands where I
god.
can see them.
I'll be right back. What the fuck? I guess I have to deal with this. Like, not really, wanting to. Does she just like police? Is that it?
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. Hug the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
This place fucking insane.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Ah.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed.
Edit double, you're free to Harry Du Bois, 44 facing. This is my partner, Lieutenant Gitsaragi from the 57th.
No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault. Man down. Officers in pursuit.
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer.
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
License and registration. License and registration. Come in, dispatch. Sector. Azimuth.
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood.
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect at large. Get on the ground.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key. Big red key.
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Really? Great.
She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights. Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the Binoclad can't shoot for shit.
True. I know myself.
Sure,
I know I'm gonna
you're
fail.
young, but how do we end this? She's not just gonna let you leave.
Gun, I'm coming.
Suicide by cop. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag.
In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Oink.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Great gears are grinding to a halt.
Whatever, lady.
The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Kill her. Shoot her right now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're
What
there.
the fuck is going on with
She's
this
in a
lady?
stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
Why was she like this in the
Honestly,
first
I don't
place?
know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
We arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Alright.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, cause it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now.
Please. Leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and flashes now. The woman stands slumped. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. The old woman doesn't react to your touch. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. The lieutenant nods. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed.
That's evidence, obviously.
Obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them. A little like you are doing now.
You're taking those, are you?
Listen to him, for once.
You take them then.
Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the case.
He's grateful you did this.
I got a gun? Gun! Is this even my gun? What does the police cap do? +1 authority? Sure. I look like almost like a real policeman. Except maybe the bow tie.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm. It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. This is your gun. It's more of a symbol than anything else, because there is always a rational, sensible, honorable one. You have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
I only try my best, most any of us can do.
Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop.
My honor is my life.
Yes, your deeds are spoken for you, honorable one. But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be completed. A rite of honor. Even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you, honor comes from deep within you. And you need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form
What?
the Arch of Honors.
What?
People will be in awe, admiring a police officer most honorable in a sacred ritual of uttermost righteousness.
You're just sticking a finger up your ass? Yeah.
What are you doing?
I am honoring myself, Lieutenant.
I can see that. But do you have to do it where everyone can see you? Have you no self-control? Please spare me this side.
The lieutenant is a noble man, but he does not know honor like you and I do. Best not to waste time trying to explain. Lead by example. Congratulations, honorable one.
An
You have
honor
become a
cop.
member of a noble faculty. A man kneels, an honor cop rises. Go forth and commit even more honorable deeds. And should your resolve ever waver, it is an honor to serve with you, honor cop.
Overproductive honor glands. What? 20 minutes? Easy. I'm getting that. Deception 2 is really good. Oh, it's just good. This one's bad, right? Really bad. Go talk to Titus. Oh, I got my gun. Do I have any bullets? You got 2 bullets. Woo! Let's go.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. The snow falls late, and to think, you're warm in your hat and
Oh my
your coat,
God.
like a well-equipped near. Snow falls, that's all. Layer upon layer of sand. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into more winding coastlines lined with abandoned. The waters turn black. Coal city in the no more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum below the old mine, where the Philippian kings were interred, with their doctors and their admiral. Yes, to peel the children under 14, they go underground, looking for artifacts. After rubies, Melchior, 2 kilometers underground, the mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure. Did someone say untold quantities of coke? How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Few Patira return from the shafts. All around her, white. The canal you crossed to get here, and beyond it, someone is scraping snow off. Like all monuments, it's also a fenced-off yard, clean white light, an abandoned church that's being turned into a dance club, a serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the remains of a camp. On a jagged further out, the lights burn bright. Then there's Ozon, the Bay of Revachol, vastness, great, and at the farthest the raised motorway was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old. The pox is completely wild now. Evergreen heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital. A line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the around you. The snow continues to fall. The stairs descend to Central Jamrock. A man named Cook. Snowfall. All of this built. A chill comes over.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up?
Interesting.
Was that? Could it be the Col de Mamadakwa? There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum.
No, I don't hear the Col de Mamadakwa.
Of course he doesn't. He's Death. There it is again. You're about to rediscover a
Oh, boy.
long-lost species. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it? It must be very close. Keep still. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. Oh no. The sound. No. Too late. It's gone. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Mars. Overproductive fauna glands. Here it is. It's titled Honor for the Brave. And goes,
Plus 25 honor
I make
points.
honor my family. I have no
This
home.
is terrible.
I make bravery my home. I have no desire. I make dignity my desire. I have no friends. I make humility my friend. I have no enemy. I make dishonor my enemy. This is my vow of honor for the brave. I am brave.
This fucking one is absolutely terrible. Hmm. Alright. And they're gone.
Hey, was there something?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Oh, I guess I gotta go to sleep. Oh, we have our gun at least. That's something. Hey, Hardy man, there's a thing you need to see. It's
It's getting late.
strange fucking
Good
thing.
night.
The bed is comforting. The place feels almost like home.
It's easier this time.
Oh no.
Drifting off your head.
There.
For now, when the pic.
Ready. An old mirror hangs on the wall. On the table, you see a bowl. The water you almost.
Bum, bum, bum. Found my gun. Something. Go tell him, and then I guess we're about good. I mean, we found our gun, so. Cool. Hey Titus, could you do something for me?
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want? Yeah? What?
Old catatomically in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under
Yeah,
your
Titus.
Yeah. We'll send someone out.
It is the
Who
pigs, yeah.
Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
With a gun?
I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig?
Yeah, she had my gun.
You're fucking with me. Your gun.
Mm-hmm.
She had your fucking gun?
Sure did, boss. Heard him loud and clear. The pig's lost his gun to the pigs.
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions.
Well, what's her name?
Auntie LaPlante. We always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Carry on, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know?
I wish I would have said that.
Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off. But still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
My guess
Anyone
is
know
that
why
it
she started
was
acting like a
her
pig?
husband or something that was trapped in the building that one time that they actually had to call the RCM.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig?
Law enforcement is a respectable occupation, sir.
Respectable professions don't shoot kids, Cerdo. They don't beat confessions out of prisoners.
Yeah, well, you know.
Easy there, Al. Sit down. We got one of our own to take care of. So let's not get... Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Okay. I'm gonna go tell them that I found my gun. They're gonna be so proud of me. Oh, hey. Let's try and talk to them one more time. I don't know.
Again? I'm going to... Okay.
Jean. Okay. I was clearly...
Okay. Let's be crazy. No.
Come on. Stop it.
Oh, it's you. Not even a little...
It's an urban myth.
He's trying to protect you from... Okay. It's a mere second. It's not my style.
Not as famous.
Yeah. It's still irony.
Oh yes, big time. Who hasn't heard of the far-out son of liver failure? Far-out son of liver failure? The super cop who voluntarily enters an alcohol...
The woman has. She's trying to keep a straight face.
No, not entirely. Okay, why not? Let's do the whole thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. Well, where have you looked for her? West of here? Tough luck. The place is ruined from the bombardment. A lot of places to hide there. I don't know. Why? Oh my god, there's more. Not as famous.
Yeah, it's still...
Oh, yes, you are.
Jean.
Okay, superstar. Talk to me. What do you want? Okay, why not? I get it, okay. But what is the motive? That would be my first guess, yes. I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. Okay, why not? A cover-up. What, the author of the cover-up is the perp? You don't have a motive? I don't know. Oh my god.
Do you have anything else?
What is it?
Did you hear me sing?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, karaoke star.
Damn it.
Names are dangerous.
Huh, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had Clusterhead. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you.
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
She actually did.
Did you just call me Harry?
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it?
How do you know my name?
God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation so everyone can go home.
Okay. Alright. You'll report that I found my gun. Oh boy.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir. Roger that, and very glad to hear it. I will make relevant changes to the report. Roger that, 10.
We did it, boys. Alright, let's go find this lady, I guess. Oh. I got 2 fucking bullets. Let's go. I have to get rocked. Alright. What's this? They've taken the shot from up here.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, outside the window, the day is clear. And
it's a great place to hide. And Machiavellianism and murder are certainly not mutually indeed. In fact, I think we're done with...
Let's... Alright. Pull out our gun. Wizard and Shivers? We already have a lot of it. Yeah, I think Closure might be good. Now let's make a real save, I guess.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now, Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. No, buddy, that's not going to help.
Right.
You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
No, don't do that.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
Help, Kim, help!
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
That boy's really gotta learn to keep his trap shut. And it's not a bloody pale emitter. It doesn't emit pale.
Right behind you, officer.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Damn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find to my back. This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Did you shoot Laylee?
No, I didn't do it.
Oh.
I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
When I threatened to arrest her, she broke.
Oh. Well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor above all else. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus told me.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal, I opened them up.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Honestly, I don't know how I do it. I just stumbled in here. Can you please explain this shit to me?
What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Would you say that Laylee was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
There was nothing more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to off someone.
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah, she wouldn't have had much trouble in the intimacy department.
Don't feel sympathy for the mercs?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
You feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate him, okay?
I'm listening.
Do you have an alibi for when he was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
They did say you left to take a really long leak, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? Don't know it.
Wait,
also,
really?
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
Yeah.
She has a point there.
No one mentioned the sound.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You have a gun.
And?
Where'd you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
That doesn't sound like the name of a real gun store.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Can't quite tell what type of gun it
A
is.
Nactway 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
Do you collect guns? Maybe old rifles?
No, they're not practical. Break too often. Yeah, evidence.
So it wasn't you, huh?
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
You wanted to, are you a girl like her?
What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse.
Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down. Then she put her hand back. Not yet. Not yet.
Is peeping one of your hobbies?
Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, Detective.
It's just the hole in her wall is pretty
Look,
suspicious.
I'm not aware of any hole in Claudia's wall. And if I had been, I would have told her to get it sealed.
So you
That's what
haven't
friends
been
do.
watching her through a hole in the wall?
Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room. For the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable. Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
Said you wanted to run away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Claudia was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Claudia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Wait, Claudia said you only kiss.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Okay.
Seriously, just move on.
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna it's very powerful. I used it to tune into... Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too.
No, it wasn't him. He's a nice guy.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know?
Oh.
As I keep
Are you
saying,
sure, though?
he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching
What?
was her idea.
Oh no.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I should have arrested her. Oh no.
It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
Oh my god.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
That's bad that she'd be so calm.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed him?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn la puta madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop, that strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
What do you mean?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock, the cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
Wait, that's the... Oh my god.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make
oh my god
stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you. I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to know about all this, but I lost my memory recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in
Oh,
Jailbrook
of
appreciates
course.
competition? And now I have Harry can opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in the squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude.
Uh-huh.
You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. Oh, that sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Literally, Satellite Officer Vitmere looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We can either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me. What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Fuck you.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh. Oh, God. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
Just put the gun down.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options. You know.
Just walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Gratitude, doubt. She's still ready to go. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
Don't have to do this. You're not cornered. I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
Thanks.
I would have done the same, had I not been incapacitated.
What if we just let the murderer go?
I have a feeling we didn't. Her tent. We should check it out.
Alright. That was fun. +3 health. Oh shit. Nice. Porridge with bananas.
plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out. The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You all
see anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More technological. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately.
Okay.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape, short wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this, loyal to a fault. Except, you have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre? M is mentioned on March. Great. M's peon is coming to town.
Yep.
No doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the entry ends abruptly. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than with us. Especially if she has problems with the Madre. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting. His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Cassie was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... Either way, we need to keep an eye on her. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and ranks. Questions to ask.
Something's gonna happen when we go back. I can tell. Something bad. Fuck it. Police. Save me. I think this is the point where we walk out with our gun. Where we hold our gun in our hand at all times. Fuck you, I have my gun. Bitch. Can we look at the thing that we smashed? No? That's not how you get out. Alright. Whoops. I went the complete wrong way. Oop.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the...
From here to the whirling? I can't see how.
Yep, you can't fast travel there, of course. Something's about to fucking happen. Great. Go in here really quick.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
No, detective. It is not.
Goodbye, officer. Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Yes, what is it?
All you hear is silence in your head.
A better deal! Yeah!
can tell that something really bad is about to happen. So that's good.
The scruffy-haired little...
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. A black bloc, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has...
On aerial photos, bloc obscurs look like dark squares, hence their name.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Yes, for you to pick up as part of the Jamrock Shuffle.
It's not meant as nagging.
We should move. I don't think our suspect is in...
The trap is poor things. Stop. Just up ahead. Danger. You are prepared. Don't put away your friend, your weapon. The barrels of your Villiers 9mm pistol shine threateningly in the cold spring light.
Jim, there's danger up ahead.
Yes, I hear commotion. Let's go.
Ready to do this.
Be ready to take damage.
Right. I should have bought more health first. Can I go in here? Oh, I can. It's locked. Oh, fuck, dude. Something really bad is happening. I'm afraid. Alright, well, we're gonna end the stream here for now. Because I'm doing something else and I won't be able to stop, so...